I'm back. It's the 2 p.m. turn, 1400 hours of the first US attack, and by the standards of November 1944, the weather has improved. We have mist and a visibility of 12 hexes, so a little bit brighter than the last hour. This is the start of the turn. We've checked all the op sheets, nothing new has implemented, so we're away. Mist actually does give me a chance to potentially have some airplanes, so let's roll. We roll a 4, so the Americans have a P-47 available to them, so this makes the artillery phase more interesting, as up to then nobody had line of sight. But yet we will bring down the aircrafts, and I think the obvious candidates are going to be these guys over here. So let's do that. In my usual, I think I used a Banzai marker, didn't I? I'll use Banzai on him, and let's see how he does. So he is out in the open. Open billiard is 3, but he's not moving, so we need a 3 or better to be able to execute the sortie. One dice, 6. So that's good, and he has an area factor of 24, no modifiers at all. So what's the effect of that? A 36 at 24 is a step loss, and step loss for these guys, they're on 4 already, so he's going to be morale 5. Nothing else to modify that. Morale of 5, 25 at morale of 5 means he is unaffected by it, other than his colleagues who have been injured. So that's the end of the artillery phase. They can keep going. That's initiative 1 for the US, 4 for the Germans. So the Germans still get initiative. They'll keep going, and I'll come back with the answer to that very shortly. Right, again, not a lot. This guy has decided to just hunker down. He's gonna hold his fire until somebody tries to move on him, to see if we can slow things down through Overwatch. I don't think firing now would just open him up to being completely overrun. These others are now fully in up mode. I'm going to bypass these guys. I think they've realised that these are heading for Komoshite. These guys are going to go head for Vosenak as per their orders. So that's what you'd expect them to do. We are continuing to position ourselves for an attack. I think this is looking pretty forlorn, but we will charge the guns if we ever get to the attack order. So that's the Germans, and now it's over to the Americans. Well, this hasn't gone so well. I think I may have, I don't know, maybe I got over enthusiastic, but I've charged with the infantry out of the woods, and this has managed, with the help of the mortars down below, to suppress them both and inflict a step loss on the squad over here. But we're going to take our life in our hands, and we're going to try and unsuppress them, because if I can get any of these free for next turn, I can pull a whole load of mortars down and it'll be worth the pain. So let's start with this guy, or these 2 guys. They lose them, get the Overwatch trigger. The mortars have already fired, so they can't come in, so it's 6. I'll just plus half the squad, so it's only got 2 left, so once. It's a 7, but it's +2 or -2 for partly protective, +2 for the range. So that's just a 7. This is probably my best chance. Anything 26 or less and I'll be safe. Yes, well, that's a good start. This guy's going to do the same. Not quite as good. 7. He's an open though, so it's shifted 2. So 22 or less for him to be safe. 64. That isn't what we wanted. That's a 1-step loss, which means that's going to have to be flipped to 2. He's still the biggest unit. Actually, there's only 1 unit in this one. So that makes his morale 5, and he's out in the open, so nothing helps him. What's going to happen to him? A 14 at 5. Well, he should have already. He's not suppressed anymore, but he is damaged. So that's maybe that not quite so bad, given where we can go for next time. And this last lot, let's I'm gonna take the head up again in the open. So that's 7 shifted twice. 11 to 13, 32 is a morale check with 3, 4, 4 again, 41 at a 4. Now, you can't be lucky all the time. Suppressed again, so that's the end of the go. One thing I was thinking though, I've definitely not used my mortars to the best extent. I could have called smoke down here and that would have made crossing that a lot easier. I'm going to have to look up how to do that next time, and I certainly might need to use that for the Germans as well. So that's the end of the turn, and nothing much happened up here. It was everyone just got into their final positions for the Americans, and on we go. Okay, welcome to the 1420 turn of the US, of the first US attack. I've just been reviewing the op sheets, and I did wonder if I had misplayed this one. This is the hasty defence op sheet that the remnants of the E Company and the rest of the platoons have been taken up on the defence of Wassenaar. They'd all failed back to Guermeter, and I wondered if I really should have implemented some move instructions or something first, or some preliminary instructions, but I've reread the rules, and no, it does say you can move up, although you're unassigned whilst you're moving up, but they've done that now, they're in place. So that's cool, we've done it all. Apart from, I've just looked at this and I realised I've forgotten to add the second platoon of C Company of the 7-7, which failed when the morale failed. I've moved it up, but actually they aren't under orders, I've left them off. Interesting dilemma here. I don't think you'd have done that in real time, so I'm going to forgive myself that one, but this should really say, in fact, let's yeah, well, it says the platoon, the second platoon was added at the same time, so that seems okay. That I did move up okay despite missing the unit, but I think that's just too much to do and to think of at one time. The other interesting development here is the feeble remnants of the first 983rd have passed their implementation check. They rolled a 66, so all 50 of them probably are now free to advance on Wassenaar again. So I'm going to have to think about how I time that, because it's going to have to be a last minute dash, I think. But it will interestingly lure the tanks into the artillery zone for So that might be something that will come in my favour. What I have done also worked out is this attack is never going to get Vosnat. We just haven't got enough time now. The guys will just take too many turns. There's only 6 movement, and the best I can get is about there and about 4, and then I'll never get through these woods. So looking at the victory conditions, I can avoid a US victory by ensuring they don't have Strengamura and the Carl Trell. So that's got to be the objective. It does fit in with this attack path anyway, so that's okay. Another slightly thing when I reviewed this, I probably wandered outside my attack axis as well. I actually followed this road out of Komushite to try and bypass the American attack. Is that permissible, given that I was meant to bypass them? Probably, but it's, I think, again, a strict intention would probably be that I should have stuck within these lines. So again, something to think about for a future game. So let's get on with it and go into the artillery and aircraft phase. I need to see if I've got any P-47s. I got 2 of them, so that's going to be interesting. And artillery, I don't want to call that down on myself. Neither does he want to do that, I should think. Nobody else can see each other. They're down there, so there's nothing to be called there. Although, well, no, again, I don't think you can see into there, so you can call it down in, as long as you can see the hex, you can call it down into that, even if there's not a unit in it. But I'm not sure that's the best use of it. So I'm just going to stick with the aircraft attack, and these guys are moving the open, so I think, and they're moving, oh yeah, they're prime candidates for my Banzai, and as I'm worried about them getting past me, a P-47 on both. I'll let you know how that goes in just a minute. Well, that was a roll of extremes. A 1 meant I didn't spot these guys, a 6 meant I definitely spotted them. However, a roll of 11 only got me a morale check, and then normality returned with a 33, which meant they're suppressed, which is a real pain in the neck, because that's going to slow them down for that. But so that was quite useful for the Americans. Let's go straight on to initiative, and so he goes first. American 6, Americans 1, Germans 2. So off we go with the Germans' turn. I'll be back in a moment to tell you just how that went. Right, mixed turn for the Germans. Down in Komushite, this guy elected to take a save yourself retreat. Actually, and he can now recover, so I should have removed that. This guy actually can recover too, but he's not been able to do anything. I've decided I started to move up, but G Company, with the help of some chem mortars and their own mortars, rolled a 66 4-step losses, so he was sent packing back to there, but we've managed to get him up for next time. So if they don't dislodge him, then we can potentially pull some artillery down on this slot and maybe start a bit of a move with this guy coming up. These have nudged up, and these are positioning themselves again. These guys are all sat in waiting to see what happens. So that's the end of their turn. Now over to the Americans. Right, neither attack is going off very well, whether you're American or German at the moment. So the highlighted units, the platoon moved up to try and get a spot from here on these Germans, but lost a step and fell into a save yourself retreat, so he's had to go back to here and move the machine guns up. This one had moved up with the idea that if we could suppress this next time, charge in and finish this off, but we might just have to do something heroic anyway. Over here though, an SFA, another 66, so I've now got another 4-step loss. It's ridiculous. It was a 2 already, and suppressed. His morale surprisingly held to just a suppression. But the G Company are giving a great account of themselves, and it looks like they'll hold on to Strenkamula at this rate. There's not many squads left. Other than participating in the fires, there's nothing much happened over here yet, so they're all waiting for things to happen. So it's the just to finish off the Americans' turn. You can recover from that suppression because they're out of sight, so safe to do so. So that's all done. Okay, end of the turn. Back shortly with the 1440 turn. It's now the 1440 turn, and we've reviewed the op sheet. Still no change. Germans still can't attack out of the woods. Everything else is just accruing. The Americans have just rolled to see if they've got any aircraft this turn. They haven't. So it's time to roll for initiative. 1 for the US, 2 for the Germans. So they're winning the initiative. Actually, this is artillery phase. What am I thinking of? So they've won the initiative in the artillery phase, and they've still got 3 missions left. I'm wondering whether it's worthwhile calling down one to see if I can take out the remainder of these guys. I think it is. There's no point leaving the use my call together counters again. Where's my smoke? It's 105. So Germans are going to put 1 down onto there. These will have to drop it on themselves, so that makes no sense. So, and these guys can't actually spot. So, yep, on we go. So, this is the only attack this turn. I might as well keep you going while we do it. And the Germans are at 10. We need 41 or better for a good shoot. 54, it's a good shoot. So that is as it lands, but I only take it in the peripheral attack zone for these two. So 105 gives a 12 attack on these guys who are all... Oh, he's in the open. That wasn't too clever, but no, he only recovered from his suppression, so he couldn't move. So 12 in the open might be less cheerful. Let's see what happens here. Oh, how many have we got in the hex as well? 4, 5, 6. So no penalty there. 53. A step loss. Step loss has to come from the biggest unit, so that's a flip. His morale now 5, and he's in an artillery attack zone, so that makes it 6. 21. Oh, no effect. Did I miss anything? There's nothing that makes it worse for being in the open. Nope. So that was chipping away at the losses, but probably more useful that he was still in move this go. And the second go is a 12 attack on these guys with the this game season protective, so it's -3, 1, 2, 3, but it's a 62, so it's a step loss from him as well. Right, he's no longer the biggest unit, so what would be the worst one to lose? Oh, I'm just going to take it from there. Maybe I should be flipping the machine guns, but anyway, that makes him now 743 at 7 with the artillery zone. Here, that whole pile is suppressed. So that did exactly what we hoped for the Germans. They've covered that down. So end of artillery, onto other phase. 6, the Americans 4. So this time they can get moving. Right, I'll be back shortly to tell you how well that went. I thought I'd bring you back for this battle in Komarscheid. In this hex we have had the this platoon has successfully assaulted in to try and finish off these Fusiliers. They're all in this hex, but I thought I'd show you the battle. So these guys moved out successfully. We're going to roll simultaneously, so let's see what we get. 6, 7. There's no modifiers whatsoever, apart from these are in move mode for the first go. So 7 with a +4 plus a +6 shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is at the 26 to 32 range. 45 gives me just 1 step loss. So he's going to go down to 2. On their side, I can flip this now. So 3, he had 4, so it's 4, 5. They can't fire in the first round because they were moving, so 5 with a 4-column shift, 7 to 13. 52 is a step loss for him as well. So let's flip them both now. Morale check time is definitely going to be the worst for him. So he has a 7. 51 at a 7 is a save yourself retreat. Okay, this guy is 5, but there's a battalion morale, so he's actually a 6. So 6, 44 is suppressed. So save yourself retreat. He came from this way. This guy will move out to there. He's in move mode. Let's move these ones in, and right, he's moving out. They're all on the same hex line, so that's going to see, so that would give a Overwatch trigger, and he's got in there 5, but we've also got, there are mortars in there, 8, and we've got 2 that we saved up here as well, so we've got a 20 to blast away for them. What happens? 32 at 20, it's only a -1, is another morale check. They're immune from those, so he's actually, could he have done that? Because he doesn't. Yeah, he would have had line of sight onto both of those. So he's going to keep on going. He's going to go to there. It just leaves these guys to shoot now with all the mortars gone. 5 with no modifier. 22 at 5, no effect. And he's going to keep on going to there. He might as well run the furthest he can to stay in Komarscheid. He wouldn't be able to because he'd be blocked from that. So he lives to fight another day. Oh, he's hanging on. So that was the end of all the movement in Komarscheid. I just up here we blasted away at this guy who got another save yourself retreat and ran away to here. And that was about it for the Americans. So I can remove that, but that ends the go. Only 1 hour and 1 turn to remain after this. Come back shortly with the 3 o'clock turn. Ahead of myself, I've missed out the German turn. I saw their artillery and I forgot about their actual movement. So here we go with the actual German turn. They're going to need to continue their attacks. I'll see how that goes and be back in a second. Another bloody round of battle for Mestrenga-Müller, or the woods above it. Both my units moved up, and look at the line of shooting, 55, 55, 55, 62. They were both shot up, both paralysed, but we decided to take a chance. They both decided to try and throw off the paralysis, and this time they had some luck. Although he took a step loss recovering, he passed his morale check. This, again, this is where we got a 15, survived the roll, and therefore when we had the shot, this guy could have a go, and this time we were rolling a 62 the Germans were rolling a 62 to paralyse them. So could be a very interesting next round of battle, but there aren't a lot of steps left in some of these German units, so let's see how that goes. So back this time properly with the 3 o'clock turn in the next segment.